hope you enjoyed a nice weekend, and I hope you're ready for week 4 of classes. So before I begin, I want to quickly touch on some things I'm hearing from a lot of students, which is that they are finding the transition into our current context kind of challenging, and that they would like to have more connection with other people, and that they're finding that navigating courses and keeping track of everything to do on a regular basis and keeping up with everything has been kind of challenging. So a couple things I want to say about that. Number one is I want to reassure you that if that's how you're feeling right now, that you are not alone. A lot of students are going through this. And number two, I want to remind you that there are a lot of resources that can help you with all of these challenges. So one of those resources is a learning center, and we have academic coaches and tutors who can help you plan out your strategies for success, and also can help you with some of the course content in the classes that you're taking. I also encourage you to stay in touch with your navigator and to consider other resources such as counseling and other services on campus that can help you if you're feeling a lot of stress or a lot of anxiety, or if you're struggling with other aspects of things that are going on in your life while you're also juggling your classes and everything else. Also, I want to let you know that our online learning office has Blackboard help. There's a 24-hour phone number you can call for assistance with Blackboard. Also, keep in mind that your professors, including me, are all here for you, so don't hesitate to email me or visit me during my office hours. If my office hours don't fit your schedule, we can try to find an alternative time to meet in my virtual office. And do the same thing with your other professors too. Again, they're here to help you as well. Another thing I'd like to encourage you to think about is getting involved in clubs or organizations. So this is a great way to connect with people outside of your classes. And even though a lot of our activities right now are online instead of on campus, a lot of our student organizations are continuing to host various programs and events and things online. So if you go to the Student Life website, there's more information there about this, or you can reach out to the club advisors or the club officers, and they can tell you how to connect with clubs and organizations online. And again, don't forget that your classmates have prepared an extensive amount of information for you about resources on campus and off campus and online through our Blackboard discussion boards that we did last week. So check those out, and also check out the NCC website where you'll find more information about resources that can help you. Also, you probably received an email from me and emails from other professors through Starfish about your progress so far in the semester. So I just want to let you know that this is something that we do every year. And the purpose of this is to give you a quick check-in early in the semester to let you know how things are going. And also to draw your attention to anything that we think could help you be even more successful in your classes. And to do that early while it's still in the beginning of the semester, so you have plenty of time to connect with other resources or to address anything that we bring to your attention, so that you don't have any surprises at the end of the semester, and so that you can do your absolute best in your classes. So this week we'll be talking about note-taking and academic reading. So for note-taking, the idea here is to think about what note-taking strategies would work best for you based on how you learn. So we will actually introduce you to outlining, concept maps, and the Cornell method. And we're going to practice using some of these methods, again, based on how you learn. So that actually brings me to the idea of what we call self-regulated learning. It's basically a way of saying that you're taking ownership of your learning and that you're adjusting or tailoring your study approaches to fit how you learn as an individual. Keep in mind that we all learn differently. And so it's important for us to have that awareness of how we learn and what our strengths are, so that we can then adjust our methods accordingly. So we've talked about strengths in this class. We did the survey to look at some of your strengths according to Clifton Strengths. And we've also talked about goal setting. So this kind of builds on top of those ideas. So the first thing I want to think about when it comes to note-taking or textbook reading or studying in general is, what are your strengths? And also, what has worked for you in other classes and what hasn't worked for you in other classes in the past? And then take that knowledge and come up with an actual concrete strategy. So set goals like we've practiced doing, and then think about what study strategies or techniques would work, and then use them, try them. And the third part of this, which is very important, is to monitor your progress and assess your outcomes. So look at how your semester is going and think about what has been working for you and what hasn't been working as well as you'd like. And use what you learn about how you learn and about yourself to then have an even better understanding of what works for you and what your strengths are, so you can then even further improve the methods that you use to study and learn. So this is a cycle, it's an ongoing thing. For a note-taking unit, please be sure to post to the discussion board by Thursday and to respond to 2 classmates' posts by Sunday. Also, please complete this unit's online learning module. And we also have a Flipgrid as well, so please participate in our Flipgrid activity by posting your video by Thursday and responding to 2 classmates by Sunday. And in addition, we have a College Resource Spotlight video, and we have a study skills practice assignment that is due next week. For this, you'll be taking a picture of your notes and writing a written reflection about how you've applied your study strategies. So please be sure to read the instructions in Blackboard before you do the assignment, and also take a look at the rubric, because that will help you identify what I'm looking for as I grade your assignment. The second unit this week is academic reading. So this deals with understanding the importance of actively reading and thinking critically about what you read. Another thing to think about when you're reading is finding the main points and distinguishing them from the supporting information. So one thing I heard a lot when I was a tutor, when I was an academic coach, and I've heard as an instructor, is students say, there's so much in the book and I can't tell what's really important and what is supporting information. So in this unit, we're going to talk about some methods of reading that can help you identify what are the main points and what is the supporting material. So one of the things that we will talk about in this unit that I'd like to give you a preview to now is something we call the CRAP test. So there's a lot of information out there. And one thing that's very important, both in terms of in college, but also in life in general, is recognizing when the information you're reading is good and when it's crap. So the CRAP test stands for Current, Relevant, Author's Authority, Accurate, and Purpose. So these are 5 criteria to think about when you're reading information, whether this is an article that you'd like to consider for a research paper, or something you're reading or watching in the news, or something you find online somewhere. This is something that you want to think about as a test to evaluate that source. So first of all, is the information current and up to date? Things often change rapidly, so you want to make sure that the information you're looking at is current and not outdated. Also, is the information relevant? So for example, if you're working on a research paper or preparing a speech or doing something else, you want to make sure that you're finding information that's relevant to your topic. Author's authority is probably one of the most important things to consider. So you always want to think about who wrote this text, or who is in the video, and what does this person know about the subject? Does this person have the appropriate background or expertise to really talk about this with knowledge? And also, how might this person be biased? And that could include intentional bias, but also it can include unintentional bias. So sometimes the questions people ask when they're writing a research study, or the assumptions people make, or just how they go about presenting information, can be either deliberately or in many cases unintentionally biased towards a certain conclusion. So you want to dig deeper and think about that every time you read something or every time you hear something in the news or elsewhere. Another thing to think about is, how do we know if this information is accurate? So what evidence is provided? What reasoning is provided? Does the author cite sources? And if so, are these good sources or are they not such good sources? So you also want to evaluate the sources that the author presents you with, in addition to what the author says directly. And another thing to think about is the purpose. So why is the author writing this or broadcasting this? Is the purpose to inform you, or does the author want to persuade you in some way, or maybe have you or encourage you to take a certain position on a topic? So that's something to consider when you're taking in information. So for this unit, please be sure to complete the online learning module. Also post to our academic reading discussion board, and again, do that by Thursday and reply to 2 people by Sunday. Also, please be sure to view our College Resource Spotlight, where you'll see somebody you know who will be telling you all about the Learning Center and more about how Our academic coaches and tutors and our virtual front desk can help you. So again, as always, let me know if you have any questions about anything or if there's anything I can help you with. And I hope you have an awesome 4th week of classes.